Hey everyone, I just want to give you an update on things that are happening with King Charles III. I hope you'll go watch my prior videos and talk about prophetic events regarding King Charles III and everything dealing with him. But it was just announced that King Charles writes to Pope Francis amid his health worries as plans for Italy and Vatican visit is confirmed. The King and Queen Camilla are visiting Italy and the Vatican during the week of their 20th wedding anniversary. King Charles has written a letter to Pope Francis for his recovery amid his health worries as plans for the monarch's visit to the Vatican and Italy are confirmed. The King, 76, and Queen Camilla, 77, are set to visit Rome and Ravenna in Italy and the Vatican City for over 4 days from April 7th to the 10th. That week coincides with another special occasion, the couple's 20th wedding anniversary on April 9th. The royal trip abroad is going ahead despite the Pope's health challenges. A palace source says it was their hopes and prayers that Pope Francis's health will enable the visit to go ahead. The wishes will be echoed by the royal couple, sources say, and palace aides are calling the trip a historic visit, as it is taking place in the year of a papal Jubilee, which happens every 25 years, and it will mark a significant step forward in relations between the Catholic Church and Church of England, which Charles heads, with a special service in the Sistine Chapel, joining hands in a celebration of ecumenism. The 4-day visit will also highlight the work King Charles and the Pope have done on climate and nature, they say. King Charles and Queen Camilla invite Stanley Tucci for dinner at their country home for a special reason. The visits begin on April 7th when King Charles and Queen Camilla arrive, and they will head to the Vatican for a planned audience with the Pope the following day. And there they are intending to join Pope Francis in celebrating the 2025 Jubilee. In a historic first, King Charles, as Supreme Governor of the Church of England, will also visit the Papal Basilica of St. Paul's outside the walls. St. Paul's outside the walls is recognized as the Papal Basilica where reconciliation, ecumenism, and relationships across the Christian faith are celebrated, a spokesperson explained at a briefing on March 17th. Held traditionally once every 25 years, the Jubilee is a special year for the Catholic Church, a year of reconciliation, prayer, and walking together as pilgrims of hope, which is the Jubilee's theme, a palace spokesman added of the special period of celebration. The visit to Italy will take in Rome and Ravenna and champion what the spokesman called the strong bilateral relationship between the UK and Italy. In Rome, King Charles will make history when he becomes the first British monarch to address a joint session of the Italian Parliament, and the royal couple will also attend a black-tie state banquet at the Palazzo Quirinale, hosted by President Sergio Mattarella. In Rome, King Charles and Queen Camilla will also have audiences with President Mattarella and Prime Minister Meloni, and the royal couple will lay a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier. There will also be a celebration of the shared common defense interests, such as the collaboration on a worldwide combat air program. In Ravenna, Charles and Camilla will be guests of honor at a reception marking the 80th anniversary of the province's liberation from Nazi occupation by Allied forces. The liberation took place on the 10th of April, 1945, 80 years to the day of the royals' visit. Sustainably, a subject close to King Charles's heart, will be on the menu for the tour too. In preparation for the visit, King Charles hosted a party for the British-Italian community in February with a meal inspired by Italian-American actor and food expert Stanley Tucci. The links between that day and the tour are marked with a celebration of the slow food movement in Ravenna. There, at a regional festival in Ravenna, Charles and Camilla will get to taste and showcase the traditional Emilia-Romagna cuisine. Slow food and the region's produce. King Charles will also meet local farmers whose land and crops have been severely affected by devastating floods that have hit the region in recent years. In the areas of culture, literature, and heritage, the visit will also go some way to underscoring the links between the two countries over books and writing and the moves to preserve ancient Roman and Byzantine architecture and heritage crafts. Now remember, his agenda is the 666 of carbon, and he wants to control what farmers do and can't do and all of this. So it's interesting. He's trying to talk to the Pope about, the Pope has the Laudato Si, and he's tried to get other priests to implement the climate change rules that they want. So this meeting is going to be kind of a historic event. And another bit of information says the King's Vatican visit still on despite the Pope's illness. King Charles III and Queen Camilla are going ahead with the state visit to Italy and the Vatican, including plans for a meeting with Pope Francis. The Pope has been ill, but Buckingham Palace says that the trip will continue as planned from the 7th to the 10th of April with engagements in Rome and Ravenna. The king had privately sent a letter to the Pope when he was taken ill, but a photo released by the Vatican at the weekend appeared to show the 88-year-old was slowly recovering. The visit will see a symbolic building of links between the Roman Catholic Church and the Church of England, of which King Charles is the supreme governor. Now, the sad part of that is that the Roman Catholic Church was controlling all of the monarchy for centuries, and whatever their Pope said, was basically like the rule of law. So when they had the Church of England, they broke free from the Catholic Church control. And also, this is really stunning because of the fact that they have the Abrahamic house that has the Roman Catholic Church, the synagogue, and the mosque, and that's in the UAE. And he's trying to bring all religions together and unite, bring all faiths together. And as well as meeting the Pope, the king will attend an ecumenical service in the Sistine Chapel. And in what the palace says is a historic first, he will also visit the Papal Basilica of St. Paul's outside the walls. Kings dating back to the Anglo-Saxon era helped support and fund this church where St. Paul is said to be buried. And the visit by King Charles will be seen as a sign of reconciliation and bringing together these historic threads. So you guys, the whole idea of breaking off from the Roman Catholic Church is being undone in this situation because they're planning reconciliation. And there will also be a personal dimension to the state visit as the trip to Rome coincides with the King and Queen's 20th wedding anniversary. The visit will support the modern-day relationships between the UK and Italy, reflecting shared values, history, and culture. That includes Italian food, and as the warm-up to the visit, the king hosted a dinner at Highgrove with the menu inspired by American-Italian actor Stanley Tucci. The king will meet Italy's president and prime minister and become the first UK monarch to address both houses of the Italian parliament. You guys, this is really super prophetic. The royal visitors will be guests at a state banquet, and military links will be promoted with a joint flypast over Rome by the Italian Air Force and the UK's Red Arrows. In Ravenna, the royal couple will view the tomb of the Italian writer Dante, and the Queen will tour a museum commemorating the poet Lord Byron. So this trying to reconcile the Roman Catholic Church with the Church of England would really be a shocker. Now, all of this is probably happening because he's defender of the faiths. Do you remember when I came on and told you that the true definition of what Jesus said, when he said, "Will I find faith on the earth?" It literally originally said, "Will I find the faith on the earth when I come?" And he is not the defender of the faith, King Charles III. He's defender of all faiths. So he changed it. He's trying to bring unity. He's trying to bring the climate change rules. And the Pope is in on it. I've already showed how Charles' hallmark is the leopard, and he's got all the four beasts. And from my dream, realizing the mark is the royal cipher of the king. So this sets the stage because the Sanhedrin is wanting to bring unity. That's their whole goal, is to bring unity among all the religions and bring them all there to Jerusalem. So we cannot be too far from the final events that start the tribulation. And this is just one huge situation that brings these two irreconcilable entities to try to reconcile them after centuries of England having broken off from the Roman Catholic Church and control of the popes. It's interesting how a lot of people had said in prophetic events that Rome would have something to do with the final days and a rise of Rome. So this is one of the links that's going to bring it all together in unity. Now here's what's interesting. We're still waiting to see what the Sanhedrin intends to do with the red heifer ceremony that would take place on March 21st through 22nd, if they do it this year, because that is the specific Sabbath for the red heifer. It's called the Shabbat Para Aduma, and that's the only day that they do that ceremony of the red heifer. So if that happens in March, and then we have Passover happening, you know, the evening of April 12th into the evening of April 20th, then he is going to be at the Vatican. It said April 7th through the 10th. So that would be just prior to Passover. And truly, something historic is going to happen. This is one more step towards the fulfillment of the end times before Jesus comes to take us in the rapture resurrection event, which we know that's going to really happen because all the other prophecies that Jesus ever gave have come true so far. And we know we can depend on him, and he's coming again. So this is just important information about King Charles III. I'm keeping my eye on things and prophetically to see where they're going. Everything is falling into place, and I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to push the like button and subscribe. Make sure you are subscribed still, and support my work on my channel if you would like to. It's very important that, you know, the people on these channels that are put here for the last days have a voice to bring forth the message that Jesus is coming soon. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Have a nice evening.